Good evening. Milwaukee Police Chief Alfonso Morales is acknowledging tonight that racism exists everywhere, including in his own department.
Shaun Gallagher spoke with the chief about the past and present challenges MPD faces and how he plans to navigate his officers in the right direction.
Over the last few weeks, it hasn't been quiet outside of police districts in the city of Milwaukee as people are protesting for police reform. And Milwaukee's top cop says he's listening.
I think one of the community's frustrations is acknowledging that racism exists in law enforcement, but I would also add on that racism exists in our communities, racism exists in our city hall, racism exists in our nation.
Chief Alfonso Morales says there is more that needs to be done to eliminate bias in the department, but the relationship between the African American community and police was tarnished over 50 years ago under then Police Chief Harold Breyer. But Chief Morales says it's like comparing apples to oranges.
That was an era where the type of policing strategy led the community to fear the police. Moving into this era of policing, we want the community to respect the police, and by gaining respect, we need to legitimize ourselves with that community, and we need to work together.
The data shows African American communities in Milwaukee are more heavily policed. In 2020, 8 of the top 10 zip codes with the most arrests are in African American communities. But Morales says this is not a result of targeting.
The police is being requested by the community to respond there. It's not like the police are saying, today we're going to go here and we're going to make arrests. So a lot of those arrests are activated by calls for service.
In order to help restore a relationship with residents, Morales says more continuous training on implicit bias is a must.
What we have to do is not conduct the training in communication skills and culture diversity or fair and impartial policing only when it's litigation tells us to do it. That has to be a constant.
But equally important is for the officers to get into the neighborhoods to cultivate positivity.
And really understand your neighborhoods, your community. That's positive engagement as well. And we encourage that. There's plans for districts to do that.
And having a staff be representative of the community it serves is something Morales is pushing for. Right now, only 17% of Milwaukee police officers are African American. Morales says if new officers have had little interaction with people of color in their normal lives, biases can be reinforced on their shifts, which could be detrimental long term.
It can have a negative impact on your opinions. And those opinions can grow year after year if you don't have a diverse enough police department.
But ultimately, if officers are out of line, Chief Morales says they will be checked.
We won't tolerate that type of nonsense if it gets to the level of an investigation where I have to impose discipline.
And one of the biggest things Chief Morales wants to see from his officers is learning from each other beyond law enforcement.
Those 8 hours in a vehicle are very important and have really changed opinions just by working together and having two people that come from different spectrums of the world.
Chief Morales says the Fire and Police Commission is in charge of recruiting a diverse group of police cadets. We've reached out to them for comment about their strategies moving forward, but have not heard back. In Milwaukee, Shaun Gallagher, TMJ4 News.